Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to sky.
Dark moon blessings, everyone. This is Owlvine Green. It is the night of the dark moon, and there's some serious locomotive action happening in the background. I've been trying to wait for it to end, to film this video, but it just keeps going, so we'll have that in the background too. These past few weeks have been really difficult for me on a mental level. A lot of shadows have been coming up for me, and things that I haven't been expecting and things that I haven't really known how to deal with, things that I haven't wanted to deal with, things that I haven't wanted to be true. But they are. And tonight, after watching a wonderful video, which I will link down below, from an astrologer here on YouTube, he spoke about this need for us to love ourselves, and his message finally sunk into me. I've been receiving this message of love for some time, and I think we can all be a little bit like this. You know, we get the message and we don't really get it, and then we hear it again and again and again and again, and finally it sinks in. And it's sinking in for me now. He was talking about this need to love our shadows, this need to fully accept who we are as we are right now, to love our addictions, to love our fears, to love the parts that are seemingly ugly of ourselves, to bring love into that, not to fight against it and not to try and get it out of our lives, these things. By fighting against them, we create resistance, which in turn gives these shadows, these things that we don't want, power. The only way that we can truly overcome any of these things is by bringing love to them, by loving them. And he talked about, you know, the age that we have been in, this Piscean age, the last few thousand years, the age of Christianity, that, you know, there's been this real, you know, good versus evil, you know, God and the devil kind of thinking. And even those of us who aren't Christians still have this kind of thinking. And we can see that in regards to how we deal with our shadow, how we deal with the parts of ourselves that we think are bad. We ignore them, or we try and get rid of them. We don't want to look at them, we don't want to see them, they're ugly, they're not who we are. We want to be love and light, many of us. We don't want these parts of ourselves, and by doing that we are creating a divide within ourselves. We cannot truly ever fully love ourselves if we're doing that. We need to love those parts of ourselves that maybe we don't want others to know about. Maybe we don't want to know about ourselves. I've been experiencing this over the last few weeks, particularly. And I've finally clicked that in resisting so hard, I am perpetuating the problem. I am creating a much larger problem. I'm giving power to the problem. And so tonight, I'm loving myself. all of my seeming shortfallings, all of the things that I have felt are wrong or not good about me. You know, things that I don't want other people to know, things that I'd rather not look at myself. I'm bringing love into that, into my whole being. And honestly, tonight I feel the most whole that I have in a very long time. I'm not pushing away the feelings of guilt or fear. I'm loving them, which I know seems like a really out there and strange concept, but it's working. And tomorrow when I wake up, I'll do the same thing. And every time those feelings come up, the feelings that I've perpetuated and made strong, I'm going to love them. And in doing so, they will lose some of that power. But it's not my focus. My focus isn't to loosen the power of those things, to have them gone. It is simply to love myself exactly as I am, right here and right now. On this dark moon and for this next coming month, I think many of us will be experiencing these kind of things. This kind of darkness, quote unquote, about ourselves, things that we don't like. So I encourage you, if that is you, bring love into the equation. Bring love to yourself. Love yourself. Love your shortcomings. Love your addictions. Love your fears. Love the things that you feel guilty about. Love isn't all fluffy and light. That's a very common misconception. You know, love is not the honeymoon stage. If you've ever been in a long-term relationship, any kind, friends, lovers, children, you know that you don't always feel fluffy towards them. That real, true, unconditional love is so much beyond that. And it's the same with ourselves. You know, we are harder on ourselves than we are on anybody else. When to have and to be everything we've ever wanted, what we need is to truly love ourselves unconditionally, to love our short failings and all the things I mentioned before. To just love ourselves exactly as we are and to accept that we're human beings and we're not perfect and we never will be perfect, and that that's okay. You know, that nature is not black and white. Nature is not so divided. You only need to look into nature, to look to the stars, to know this cycle of life, death, and rebirth, to know that life isn't black and white. It is not linear. It is not so segregated as that, as we've made it, as we've been conditioned to feel over the last few thousand years. It's just not true. And once we accept that and bring that understanding into ourselves for ourselves, I think we're truly going to experience wonders, wonderful things. We're truly going to grow so much, and I think not just within our own selves, but as a species, as humankind. You know, there is this thing called the collective unconscious, and as we move forward in our thinking, the rest of the collective unconscious is also affected, is also brought forward. It seems in this time that we are called to move into that space of greater love, of understanding love, true unconditional love. And that begins with ourselves. Wherever you are on your journey, wherever you are in the world, I hope that this message reaches you. I wish you so much love. And I hope for you to look your shadows in the eyes and love them too. Many, many dark moon blessings.